Hi, I'm Mike Morales. You are watching Sipping Off the Cuff, 2018 Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm in San
Happy New
Antonio.
Year!
That gentleman there is
Rick Levy in San Diego.
Rick. Have you ever had that not fresh tequila? If you're
Have you
sticking,
ever had a tequila that tastes like the bottom of a column still?
well,
Uh,
this isn't one of them.
this is not one of them.
But if you've been watching our Sipping Off the Cuffs, you know that we did the brand new for 2018 Suave tequila from Suave Spirits. We just got through doing the Blanco. This is an organic tequila, ladies and gentlemen.
Another
But this
organic
one,
from Amatitan.
yeah, but
Loving it.
look at this. This is confusing people right now. If you're watching this, we're still filming in 2017, so we're pretending this is brand new year because you're not going to see this in 2018 anyway.
It's
So
27. Yeah.
the lunar rested. What is it? Tell me, Rick. What's lunar rested? Is that just
Lunar,
is
Lunar
that just
rested.
wait? Is that just marketing happy talk?
We would have to, we'd probably have to talk to somebody down in Jalisco, but they're calling this their Lunar Rested Silver. And what they've done is they've created a Blanco, and then they put it in barrels on the full moon, and then they take it out of the barrels on the next full moon. So that's a 28-day cycle. That's less than the 30 days, so they can still call it a Blanco, a silver. So it hasn't
Well,
become a Reposado yet.
technically, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, when I read this, I remember that Herradura, before it was owned by Brown Forman, used to call their Blanco a Blanco Suave. And what they would do is they would rest it in a barrel and then pull it out. If you remember the old Blanco Suave in the old bottles, it had like a tinge. It was tinged like
Yeah.
this, okay? And that was how you knew that was a Blanco Suave. So technically, I think what they've done is they've made this a Blanco Suave. Um, I think in order to be called a rep, or like you said, yeah, they pulled it out of the barrels right before they have to call it a reposado.
Yeah.
So technically, they're calling it lunar rested. I think it's clever. I think
Hmm.
it's also, you have to explain it because because it could almost be too clever for its own good.
So I was reading the website, and there's a lot of marketing happy talk on the website. And,
Okay.
I think it's part of their positioning with the brand and, to cater to the particular audience that they're trying to
What's
target.
the audience? What did they call it?
I believe the term they used was feminine focused.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
which, we, come on, give the ladies a break.
Hey,
Mike and I,
give
Mike
them
and
more
I know
credit.
lots of ladies that don't need their tequila,
Muted.
rounded off or
Yeah.
or made more mellow or what have you. It's like women can appreciate a great tequila just as good as men can.
Or
Um,
a mezcals for that matter.
yeah, yeah. So you know, I think we should get rid of this whole, feminine targeting thing. If you want to say that we're creating a softer, more rounded out profile or a mellow profile or a gateway tequila, that's great. That's calling it what it is. But,
Right.
if you're calling it feminine focused and, then you're going for a suave profile, something that is, rounded off and mellowed, is that like, a backhanded dig at women, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I had questions too about the copy. Okay. I First of all, there's way more pluses than minuses, but the minuses kind of stand out a little bit. I love that it's organic. I love that they went with a German company that's a certified organic agency, and it's one of the more highly uh, one of the more highly approved agencies in the world. I like that it's kosher. Honestly, I thought that when I saw Lunar rested, I thought this was a kosher thing because the Hebrew calendar
Oh,
is lunar. It's based in lunar. It's not solar like the Julian calendar. So I said, oh well, this
mm,
makes sense, right? And because it's kosher, it's kosher for Passover. I love that idea. But then I thought, well, wait a minute. I started reading the copy and I thought, oh, Blanco Suave, like Herradura used to make.
yeah.
That's when it clicked for me. But if you didn't if you didn't have that experience in tequila, if you were just like we had said earlier, if you were just looking for a gateway, this would be a little bit confusing. I think. I think
Yeah.
it's clever, but it's almost
It
too
is
clever
clever.
for its own good.
Yeah.
But I like it.
And
I mean,
it's like, we're a couple of guys here griping about, marketing that's geared toward a certain segment of women. But so, you can probably discount a whole lot of that. But,
yeah,
there's a lot of quality production and great names behind this tequila. So,
yes,
don't let our little gripes stop you. But,
no.
the name of the brand is Suave. They're going for a softer profile. That's by design. And so now we're here to talk about how they accomplished that, and
Oh, so you know what?
whether they hit
You
their
know what we
target.
just did? You know what we just did?
What do
We
we do?
mansplained the tequila.
Oh my God!
We mansplained it. We mansplained it. Oh, and take a look at this. Does this look like a half moon? Is yours discolored like mine is? Oh no,
Uh,
you've got a full one.
yeah,
Mine
no.
looked like it got a little discolored, and I thought that was on purpose because I thought, oh, okay, well that's like a half moon, but that's not
Mm.
apparently.
Yeah, so this is some solid. This is it's probably a solid chunk of aluminum here.
Yeah, that's gonna
It's
hurt, man.
got some real heft to it. You don't want to accidentally hit
No, you don't
somebody
want to.
or
Yeah,
something,
don't
but
want to crush it like a beer can.
it's a again, it's a twist off top, which I think is kind of cool actually because I end up
Oh
having
yeah,
a lot of trouble with corks.
absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Well, we nominated it right away. Not just the Blanco for organic Blanco, but also for packaging. I love By the way, nice picture. If you've checked our Instagram, Rick was nice enough to supply us with a couple of shots, and they love your shot. They
Oh, great.
Susan Geach of Suave Spirits has been using your picture for part of her promotions and stuff, and she's very proud of the way you photographed it. So nice
Wonderful.
work, and that was very pretty,
Yeah,
very
well,
nice.
it's very photogenic. You know,
Yes, yeah, and I
it's
think that
a
was
nice design. It looks good, so it's not hard to make
yeah.
it look good.
I know it looks great on a bar too,
Yeah,
so it'll look good on your bar too.
yeah,
um, it's got that now. See, we just poured a little bit, and we do have it's a very pale straw color. Okay,
yeah.
you're gonna see that. There's nothing wrong with it. For the guys that are confused about Lunar rested, we just
Yeah.
mansplained it away.
Well,
It's all it
it's
is a Blanco Suave.
they put the barrels on the moon for 28 days. Well, actually,
No, not
speaking of
us.
the moon,
NASA does.
speaking of the moon and reduced gravity on the moon, in their marketing copy, they actually said that putting it in the barrel on the full moon, when the gravitational pull of the moon is at its peak, does something in terms of how the tequila interacts with the barrel when it first enters the barrel. So I'm not sure if there's anything to that. We would have to ask a minds greater than ours. But
Well, you know that most surgeries don't happen during a full moon. You know that, right?
surgeries, no.
Yes. Yeah, because of the full moon, because of the gravitational pull, patients have a tendency to bleed more.
Wow.
So you try to avoid doing surgeries during a full moon. Now, if you're looking at Snopes, go ahead and tell me I'm wrong, but I have heard this even from surgeons who prefer not to perform surgeries during a full moon. So
Well,
maybe there's something to
you
that.
know, tequila is a liquid, so is the ocean, and we
Yeah.
know in the ocean we get higher high tides on the full moon.
Yes,
So
we do know that. So maybe there's something to it, right? I
yeah.
love the nose on this tequila, though. That now, see, resting in the barrels has not taken away the nose at all.
No, no. Although I'm probably getting. Remember when we poured the Blanco, we were getting hit with citrus right away.
Yes, yeah,
But with this, now that it's been in the wood for 28 days, getting the agave first.
right, exactly. Thank you. But I'm not getting any wood. That's the weird part. I'm not sensing any barrel
Yeah.
on the nose. But you're right. I'm getting more agave as opposed to more citrus. Yes,
Well, it
I
does
agree with
seem, it certainly, the aroma has a bit of a warmer quality to it. It could be that just happens naturally by muting the citrus. But it also makes the agave have more of a baked agave presentation.
I love this. Wow, that's really something. And I'm even getting down at the bottom not that I need to stick my nose down further because these jarritos work so well, but all the alcohol's like at the bottom, probably right where it belongs.
Yeah, I'm not getting alcohol.
I really got to stick my nose in the. I'm using the shorter jarrito for this reason, and you're using
Oh, okay. I'm using one of the taller prototypes.
one of the taller ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. It's lovely, and yes, it's more agave forward as opposed to citrus forward like the Blanco was.
Yeah,
but
and I think to create the softer profile, they're also probably taking some more generous cuts off the heads and tails. And so, when you take a bigger cut off the head, you get less methanols, fewer ethanols, and alcohols. And then when you cut off the bottom, you're going to lose some of those richer aromatic notes. But the heart that they have here is, it's a great presentation of agave. Are you able to pick up the mineral that we got in the Blanco still?
Not so much, and again, that's probably due to the barrel.
Yeah,
I would say that's due to the barrel.
Yeah, that's another quality that's been rounded out a bit in the barrel.
Yes, and not that the mineraliness is a bad thing because that's what you and I look for, especially in a tequila out of a Matitan.
From a
Matitan. These are characteristics of a Matitan that are almost guaranteed from one brand to another coming out of that area. And I love how he's played with this though. You have to admit, Jaime Villalobos Sousa has really mastered playing around with the nuances that are traditionally the flavor profiles coming out of that area. So
yeah, and it's interesting to construct a Suave profile, a softer or gateway profile from a Matitan.
Yes,
because a Matitan is typically very bold. Yes. So he has a lot of material to start with before he starts rounding things off.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. I can see this is not an easy task. Pepper on the back end.
Yeah.
And
I'm getting some citrus, but the entry was, the entry on the Blanco was very nice. It has a nice consistency to it. It coats the palate. It's not thin.
No, it's got a good structure to it, doesn't it?
And it enters warm, kind of warm baked agave. But this is maybe enters slightly warmer.
And again, I think that's due to the barrels. We're not sure if they're using new or used. I'd imagine that these are used barrels. If no sense in using something new and you're gonna, and pulling it out, because I think if it were new, you'd get more of the barrel notes, and we're not. We're getting just enough barrel notes.
They're using American oak. I don't have information as to whether or not they're used.
I would venture to say these are used just because of the color, the pale straw. It really it is to me very reminiscent of Herradura's Blanco Suave. It still had that. It still has that minimal finish on the back end. All the flavors at the entry and the mid palate with the pepper right at the back end and done.
Yeah.
I see. I like, honestly, Rick, I think I'm liking this better than I did the Blanco. I don't know why, because I have a soft spot for original Herradura, because that was a classic tequila that is no longer available to us like that.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
tough. There's great qualities here. It really highlights the baked agave, I think, which is quite wonderful. I'm not sure if I can pick a favorite between this and the Blanco because I'm a big fan of citrus, and there was a great citrus presentation in the Blanco.
There was.
So I think it's just up to your own taste.
The more I have of this, the more I like it. And you're right; it's got enough structure, and I think it's designed that way. The more you have it, the more it coats your palate, as a good reposado would, but not all at once like a good reposado would. In other words, you really have to revisit over and over again as a sipper to get that same effect.
However, with the softer profile and the shorter finish, I would be afraid I might revisit this too often and too quickly.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's kind of like that bad girlfriend. I've had a few of those. Not the current company, of course, accepted, but see, and now I'm getting a little bit more of the wood notes on the nose. Now that I have less and less in my jarrito, but just a touch. I have to say, Rick, I'm really impressed with how he's played with the traditional flavor profile from Amatitan. He's really accomplished something, because I don't think that we give him enough credit for how much work it took to rein back those flavor profiles that we are so used to having. We want that mineralness. We want that agave in that zest, and I don't know, maybe Jaime mansplained tequila. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. What do you think, Brand of Promise? I like it. I really do. I like what he's accomplished. I like what he's doing here.
Yeah. And I appreciate a good Suave.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's almost like an old school tequila. The Blanco was like an old school Four Copas. It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Now this one is like an old school Herradura.
One of the first tequilas I ever had when I started exploring craft tequila was the Arete Suave.
Oh, see, but Arete Suave, I think, is made in tequila, if I'm not mistaken. I think, isn't that really tiny distillery that's only last?
Yeah, it's El Llano, isn't it?
El Llano.
El Llano.
Yeah, that's a small distillery. There's another.
That's the Orandains.
Yes, the Orandains. It's an old. It really is an old school flavor profile, kind of with a new slant.
And that kind of Suave, Blanco rested in wood before it comes reposado. It's a nice entry point for getting into tequila.
Again, and probably in getting into reposados also. I mean, this kind of does a dual purpose. If you want to get into a Blanco or a reposado, you kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like for you when you experiment with other flavor profiles or other brands, for that matter. Yeah. A Brand of Promise nominee. I really am digging this. I'm digging what they did with it. We've had some questions at the beginning, but we mansplained those away. And
if we're mansplaining, I'm just so sorry.
I know.
We don't mean to be those people. We can't help that we're men.
Yeah, I know. Hey, But you know, I love what they're doing. I
Yeah.
think that this one has a really really wonderful future. Look for it. It's already an award winner.
Yeah.
At this
And
point,
you know they're using a great process too. It's certified organic. They are they're cooking in autoclaves, but I think they're doing a slow cook. They're not doing it for
yeah,
speed.
yeah,
They're doing open air fermentation in stainless steel vats with natural yeasts, only natural yeasts, um, and then they're using stainless steel pot stills. So, you know, it's a nice process. And again, they're just doing a lot with that Amatitan profile. It is really interesting to kind of create an entry profile out of Amatitan.
yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been done. There's a lot of firsts with this brand. We can see that once we clear away the clutter, and all the extra shoes and dresses.
Yeah.
Uh, you
And you
know,
know, this isn't an entry profile where they've taken tequila and turned it into vodka. You know,
yeah,
there's
no, no,
great
no,
pepper, great agave here, beautiful nose.
yeah. The nose. Now I don't know about you, but I don't think I would want to mix this in a cocktail personally.
Yeah,
I
you would lose so much of it, I think.
Yeah, you would lose all the character building characteristics because I think this particular profile, this particular expression builds on itself. It really builds on itself sip after sip after sip, and that's what I'm really enjoying about this version of a Blanco Suave. So, Brand of Promise nominee in what do we call this? I guess do we call it a we have to call it technically a Blanco or Blanco Suave.
Well, yeah, I would call it a Blanco Suave.
Okay, then that's what we'll do. Blanco Suave, Lunar rested. That's our take on Suave spirits. Hang in there with us because we got one more expression to cover with you on and our brand new sipping off the cuff for 2018, which we're still filming in 2017. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio, and that gentleman there is
Rick Levy in San Diego.
please join us on all of our networks. Go ahead and feel free to hit that red button and join up on our YouTube channel and all the other channels that you find us on. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.